This evening, we are talking about stationery and office supplies. They've been in the news a lot recently. Shareholders will vote later this month to approve a stock split, and the company is planning on expanding to Trinidad and Tobago and the Cayman Islands. So here to tell us more about the company's plans is Managing Director Alan McDaniel. Hi, Alan.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I am great. It's our first time having you on, so welcome to Taking Stock.
Thank you very much.
Well, for those of our viewers who may not be very familiar with the company, give us some background. How did you start? What do you do? Tell us all about your story.
It's a long story, actually, because this year represents 58 years since Stationery and Office Supplies has been in business.
Did you say 50?
58, actually.
58, wow. That is a long story.
Yeah, started back in 1965 with my parents at the time. And right now we are focused on providing quality office furniture and stationery for the day-to-day operations. We have expanded that into warehousing products. We've gone into manufacturing, where they manufacture the Seek line of products, books, the old-time school books that everyone uses. And our goal is just to make sure that we can provide high-quality products at a reasonable price throughout Jamaica.
Right. So what has that journey been like? So you took over from your parents. What was it like, running a family business, growing up in the industry? How has that been?
Yeah, it's a good thing, actually, because I have a good amount of experience, because I believe from I was in high school as a teenager, I used to go there and work at summers. And when I went away to school, my goal was coming back to work there as well. It's definitely a family organization. I have two sisters. My parents are still there, and a brother-in-law in the company, and we all operate and control different divisions within the company. So it's been quite an uphill battle, but something we're proud of where we reached to this point.
Now, we all know in Jamaica the Seek books are legendary. How did that acquisition come about?
Well, it was an opportunity that came to us right after we had listed back in 2017. And in 2018, having known the owners of Seek at the time, they were looking to expand and wanting some help. And it turned out to be a perfect opportunity for us to get into the back-to-school market, something that we had previously never been a part of. We took the chance, we took it over, we've expanded it, we've expanded the lines, we've expanded the product range, and we're very happy with what's happened so far. Obviously, during COVID, that was not the best time to be manufacturing school books, as with everything
right.
But ever since then, we're back on track and doing better than ever.
So how has it impacted the business?
Well, just like everything else we do, every little thing that we do adds to our bottom line. And every year we're trying to find something that's going to help us to increase and to grow our revenues. Seek itself is probably about somewhere between 8 to 10% of our annual revenues and continuing to grow. And at the same time, Stationery and Office Supplies has grown significantly over the last few years, hitting our all-time high last year of 1.75 billion in revenues, which is about a 60% increase year on year. And with all the things that we're doing, including Seek, including our warehousing material, everything's just helping to make the company continue to grow.
Nice. Well, you mentioned the impact of COVID-19, which is something I definitely want to ask about, because schools were closed, businesses, people were working from home. So I don't know if they were buying office furniture at that time. How did that impact SOS?
Oh, significantly impacted us. There's one thing we've always stated, and we go how the economy goes. We're not in a unique business. And once everybody's doing well, we will continue to do well around them. We have it's strange. Office supplies and furniture is the first thing people cut when their times are hard. It's just as simple as that. They, something that they already have that they don't need to replace, something that they try to cut back on, just like everybody else, cut back on paper, stop using this, stop, spending excessively. And one of the first things they do cut is office supplies and the purchase of furniture. So during COVID, we were able to keep our head above water. We made it through. And I think based on all the tightening up that we did and the plans that we put in place, we actually came out of it better than ever, to be perfectly honest with you.
Nice. So school reopened. We had a return to in-person working. How did that affect your finances?
Oh, absolutely. It was a positive effect because yes, we definitely got into the home market where people were working from home, or even organizations were helping their employees, setting them up at home. But there's just nothing like being in an organization. it's a different feel. I find that when you're there in the workplace and you're getting the feeling of everything that's going on around you, it helps. It helps business. It helps motivate persons. And just coming out of COVID and getting back to businesses and giving the opportunity for people to start to grow once again, to open new things, it's another positive effect on us, and we've continued to benefit from that.
And then you actually went on to have a record-breaking financial year in 2022. So not just good compared to COVID years, which naturally is going to be a lot better, but record-breaking. So what contributed to that, would you say?
Honestly, I believe there's a lot to do with the management and the planning and the organizing we did. We had an opportunity during COVID to say, like most people, to cut back and just hold things closer to the chest. But we, as a group, decided that we were going to continue to expand. We were going to continue to make sure we had the products available for those who were there. And that allowed us to continue to supply smaller entities that couldn't afford to continue to bring things in. I mean, during COVID, container shipments alone rose from $3,000 US to bring a container from China to over $20,000. And that just made goods very expensive and very hard to stock what you used to have. So we use that as an opportunity to make sure that when people were here and when people were ready to buy, we had products on hand. And from that, we also were able to gain a lot more distribution with smaller office supply companies who used us as their outlet. And so increasing inventory and making the plans for that, as we got back into 2021 and into last year, the business does continue to grow as things normalized.
So when it comes to like your office furniture side, is it you get local suppliers or it's imported items that you mostly sell?
95% of the stuff we import. Not only that, but we've gone a step further in the last, let's say, 10 years, and we started manufacturing our own lines of furniture, working with factories in China and elsewhere. We found that with our knowledge of what was expected here, because truthfully, we're anywhere between 5 to 10 years behind first world countries in terms of what the expectation is, in terms of the pricing that they're looking for, in terms of just the products overall. So what we did is we created first our image line of products, which is our own cabinets and metal products and chairs, our torch line of furniture, which was a new desk line that we brought in specifically for the Caribbean market. And just recently, within the last year, we started our new Evolve line of furniture. So we're not just pretty much picking up out of a book and importing it. We're actually taking the time to talk about what was required, the thicknesses, the colors, the consistency, the quality of everything. So we've really designed our own products that are doing very well out here and throughout the other Caribbean where we're able to sell to.
It's a great move. Is it that it can't be done competitively here, though, the manufacturing?
Sorry for that background. No, it definitely cannot. Just the whole manufacturing and the cost of manufactured goods here. Very good in the background.
Yeah, they decided to show us what it takes to manufacture stuff locally.
Yes. So yes, it's very difficult. To be very honest, I have looked into it personally myself. And the cost of importation and the cost of the material plus equipment to get it done is so exorbitant for the quantity that we actually would be able to produce and sell out here. It is cost effective to bring it here, to be honest. Now, what we do is we bring all of our products flat or knocked down as they refer to it. And so a cabinet, for example, comes in a 2-inch box. And our teams here do all the assembly and I want to use the word manufacturing, but put it together as much as we can here. So we do quite it's very labor intensive what we do. So we assemble, we put it together and we package it here for resale.
So when you sell it assembled?
One of the things that we definitely do is we offer a turnkey operation in sense. So if you come to us and your offices want something, we not only you can come there, pick it, look at our showroom, get to feel it before it even comes to you. But not only that, we deliver it, we install it, and we give you the warranty on it there afterwards.
Okay, great.
So we don't expect you actually have to lift a hand.
I've been doing quite a bit of assembly.
I'm sure.
I assembled this chair. I assembled a lot of stuff that I didn't know I could do. Because I didn't know when you buy stuff, most of the time they send it to you in a box and you have to assemble it.
Most of the time that is the case. But we found that for the service side of it, I mean, our team is over 170 strong now. So we pride ourselves in making sure that we can do everything in-house. So whether it's one chair or 10 floors, we're going to come and do it for you. And it's just part of the service to make sure that you always want to come back to, where you got the best service and the best products.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the recent developments. One being the stock split that the board recently approved. It's going to be a 9-to-1 stock split. Tell us a bit about the decision to do that. Why now and why 9-to-1?
Well, we always, since we listed back in 2017, it's obviously something that we've been learning as going along, especially for myself. And we had always had in our head that we wanted to hit a $20 mark. We're assuming we're going to continue to grow, and that was always our plan, of course. But in speaking to brokers and financial persons who are, a lot more versed on the subject, we always looked at a 20-to-1, a $20 share price to look at the split, because we also found that 91% of our shares are in the top 10 hands. So we don't find that there's a lot of trading. And one of the side effects of being on the stock exchange as well, which I don't think gets spoken about enough, is the publicity you get and the exposure you get.
Right.
And the amount of persons that come to speak to me and say, listen, I want to buy from you guys because I'm a shareholder, or it's a way of your name always being out in the public. And we try to make sure that we're always doing something. We're always keeping people abreast of what we're doing. And the more exposure we get, the better we're going to continue to do. So we definitely did it from that point of view, as well as the fact is that we would like to see our shares traded more frequently and in more volume. So right now, what does seem like the right time, we have a lot going on. We have a lot of expansion. We have a lot of growth happening. And the concept of the 9-to-1 came from a lot of discussions with the brokers and to know where we want to be once the split is done. Now, we listed back in 2017 at $2, so we didn't want to be down there or lower than what we originally listed for. But at the same time, we had the highest stock price of any company on the junior market when we were at, I think even when we were at $15, but even more so now. So what we found is that we wanted to find and have that medium.
You're still the highest on the junior market now? Because I just looked up the price. It ended today at $27.60. So
Correct.
That's the highest on the junior market right now.
That it is. And we're talking strictly just share price, not valuation point from
Right.
the point of view. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we hit a medium price where persons who are limited in what they can spend can look and say, I can get somewhere between a $2 to $3 share or in around that region to be able to continue to gather some shares for themselves and allow them opportunity to buy more. So that was the concept behind the 9-to-1 split, which will, if we did it right now, would put us, what is that, about somewhere around $3.50, about $3, somewhere in that region,
right,
which we find is a sweet spot that we would like everyone to be able to afford that. So we're not the cheapest and we're not the most expensive anymore.
All right. Yeah. So you guys had a look at the chart just now. You had a pretty good run this year. So you started the year. I already stopped sharing the screen, but you started the year, I can't say where you started, 20-something, in the 20-something range?
No,
1574.
I was going to say 14, somewhere in that region, yes.
You started the year at 1574, and you're up now to 27 and something. So a pretty good run. Year to date, you're up 63%.
Actually, nice. Hit a high of last week at, I think it was just over $34 too. Actually,
let me just go back and share again so that the audience can see exactly what I'm looking at. This is from the JSE's website. So here are the details. So here we are today at 27.60. You had a high just last month, like last week, really. 34.31. Nice. And then earlier this year, we're looking at, so year to date, starting the year at, ending at 16.92. And then January, where's January 2? It's skipping a day for me. All right, January 3, 17.10. Yeah. And it's showing here, week to date, you're up almost 20%. Year to date, up 63%. So nice.
Well,
doing well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, I believe in 21, coming on the backside of COVID, we continued to show that we were very resilient and we came back. 22, I think we had a very successful year, obviously having our all-time high in terms of revenues. And I think turn around into this year, seeing that that we have been continuing that trend, I think people are really starting to believe and understand that we are serious where we're going with this.
And Strong Link says, excellent performance in a bear market, because you realize most of the stocks are down and you guys are here up 63% in a bear market.
Yes, we're very fortunate like that, yes.
That's something to pay attention to indeed. So are you looking to also raise funds through the market anytime soon, possibly through an APO, bond, rights issue, some of these popular methods?
To be perfectly honest with you, I would probably say no to that at this point in time. The truth is, one of the things we're very proud of most is that our asset to debt ratio is one of the lowest on the stock exchange right now. We really believe in keeping in not having to pay out that much over time. And we do believe that we know we have access to funds right now for any project that we want to take on, any kind of growth or purchase that we want to do. So we do know that we have access to it. And as soon as the time comes that we need it, we will definitely figure out what is our best way forward. And I would say that's in the not too distant future. We have a lot of plans and a lot of things on the table that we're looking at.
Well, I asked because I see that you're on a big expansion drive, you're building out warehouse space, and you're moving into other territories. Why did you guys choose Trinidad and Tobago and the Cayman Islands as your next stop?
That is also part of just the whole growth plan. And we've spoken about doing a lot more regionally, and we have done projects throughout the years continuously. With a lot of the contacts and other persons that we've met and other organizations we've dealt with, it started in Trinidad, and we were able to come to an agreement with the Office Authority over there, who is a manufacturer of paper products. And it was at the time, it was perfect for us. They wanted to get into the furniture market, something they are not doing right now. And it was an opportunity for us also to look at the paper products that we were already importing and to form a partnership with this company. Now, it's a win-win for both sides. And it allows us to get our foot into Trinidad. And so far, they're doing very well, having gone 3 containers for the year purchased from us. And Cayman was another venture that a local person who I actually do know who lives over there now, he's in the business of manufacturing interior design, interior doors and windows. And he thought this was a perfect add-on for him to continue his growth and offer a full interior service. So we are looking at that right now, and we're looking at other islands who want to distribute, and especially some of the smaller islands who can't afford to just bring in 1 container of one product. They know they can come to us. They know they can buy a complete mix of container between stationery, chairs, cabinets, and everything that's involved, and be able to get things significantly faster at reasonable prices for them to be able to resell down in their markets.
So Jamaica would be the transshipment point. It would come here first, and then you ship to them?
Yes. So what we're doing is not even a container. It's our goods are being sold from our stock, from our inventory. And if you've noticed over the last 2 to 3 years, we're at a high now of somewhere in the region of about 360 to 380 million in inventory. Now, that is a specific push for not only our local market, but to make sure that we have product here for our Caribbean partners so that they can buy from us. And for example, to get goods over to Cayman, we can have that packaged, shipped, and to them within 2 to 3 weeks, which is significantly faster than anything they can get out of the States or China for themselves. So it's coming here, it's coming into our inventory, and they are able to pull from what we have here.
That's awesome. Well, we have a question from Levar, who says, with increased expansion in the BPO sector, does your company provide services to that sector?
All the time. So even just recently, we completed a 200-seat call center in Montego Bay. We're working on another one in Portmore. I think there's about 2 more projects going on right now. One of the things in our inventory that we do stock is the BPO sector has gotten the growth of BPO sector it's gone so big, is that we actually stock partitions, chairs, surfaces to be able to outfit a 300-seat BPO tomorrow if somebody wanted. That's one of our focuses. So we do have the products in stock for tomorrow morning. So they no longer have to wait. They no longer have to order. They can start working and they can start immediately.
Awesome. Well, before you go, Alan, any other plans that you want to tell us about at this time?
Well, you know how the JC and their rules are. So there's not a lot.
Yes.
But I will tell you that one of the great things about the organization and the persons in it is that none of us are really satisfied. None of us are sitting to say, hey, we've reached a point. Everyone wants to continue to grow. So one of the best things is that everybody's always looking at something, a new plan. A year or 2 ago, we got into warehousing equipment. We do racking. We do industrial. We do pallet jacks, hand trucks, all those kind of things. And I do know that right now we are looking to expand our warehousing facilities in Kingston. We've just literally, as of July 1st, taken on an additional 3,000 square foot warehouse space in Montego Bay as well to double our operations down there. And we have so many projects on the horizon that we are looking for additional space in preparation for them coming on.
Wow. As I said, Montego Bay, last question comes from Philip, who says, is the tourism hotel boom something you're poised to benefit from?
The whole point of the hotel boom definitely helps us, because you can see that when COVID was going on and the hotels shut down, they still need to buy. So even though we're not directly influencing the tourist persons or the persons traveling, we do quite a lot of work with the hotels for their day-to-day operational needs. We've done work for the hotels, and every hotel room, most of the times they have a bed, a table, and a chair, and we've provided those chairs and stuff. We do a lot of the background work within the conference rooms, the meeting centers, the business centers. So even our Montego Bay branch, which their sales last year increased by 50%. So just the reopening of the hotels provided such a boost to our business down there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Alan. When does the stock split take effect?
So our AGM will be held on the 25th of July. And I believe the final date is August 2nd, I believe, or August 5th, for the actual split to take place. Okay,
so we're looking at early August for a stock split, a change in that price from the high 20s, maybe low 30s, down to maybe the $3 range. And Nano Sen says, from this company can make it through the 70s and the 90s. Well, it's a resilient company, because those were some tough times. Thank you again for joining us, Alan.
Anytime, thank you.